tragic loss, exposed MASH. Icon. Loretta Swit's shocking death at 87. Leaves. Fans heartbroken, untold details. Fans worldwide are mourning the loss of Emmy-winning actress Loretta Swit, who died at 87 on Friday, May 30th. The beloved television icon took her last breath at her New York City home due to natural causes. She'll be remembered for bringing the character of Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan to life. A true television legend has left us. Swit's powerful portrayal of the strong-willed head nurse on MASH earned her 2 Emmy Awards. Her commitment to the role was remarkable. She appeared in all but 11 episodes during the show's 11-year run from 1972 to 1983. The actress's exceptional performance led to 10 Emmy nominations throughout her time on the series. ASH's legacy stands unmatched in television history. The show's 2.5-hour finale aired on February 28, 1983, and drew more than 100 million viewers. This made it the most-watched episode of any scripted series that ever aired. The show's excellence earned it a Peabody Award in 1975 for its unique ability to blend comedy with profound statements about war. Rolling Stone magazine recognized this brilliance by ranking MASH at number 25 on its list of the best TV shows of all time. Publicist confirms Loretta Swit died at 87. The entertainment world received devastating news when Loretta Swit's longtime publicist confirmed her death on May 31, 2025. Millions of fans who grew up watching her powerful performance as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan on one of TV's greatest shows now mourn the loss of this beloved actress. Swit dies at home in New York City. Multiple reports confirm that Loretta Swit died just after midnight on Friday, May 30th, at her Manhattan residence. Entertainment Weekly received confirmation from her publicist that the actress passed away shortly after 12 a.m. at her New York City home. Police records cited by her representatives verified the time of death. Manhattan had been Swit's home for many years. She chose a quiet life away from Hollywood's spotlight after her television fame. Her peaceful death at home matched the dignified way she lived after her iconic TV role. The quiet nature of her final moments created a stark contrast to her public career. News of Swit's death stunned many entertainment industry veterans who remembered her energy and dedication to both acting and advocacy work despite her age. Cause of death believed to be natural causes. This profound loss has shaken the entertainment community, though authorities suggest Swit likely died of natural causes. Her publicist shared police statements noting this early determination pending a coroner's report. CBS News, among other outlets, reported natural causes as the suspected reason for her death. Medical examiners will make their final determination following standard procedures. Given Swit's age of 87, early reports of natural causes align with statements from those close to the situation. This news hits home especially with older viewers who watched MASH during its original 1972-1983 run. Fans express relief that their beloved Hot Lips died peacefully at home instead of enduring a long illness. Publicist Harlan Bowl releases official statement. Longtime publicist Harlan Bowl's statement confirmed her death and celebrated her lasting influence. Few actresses captured the imagination of generations of television viewers with the certainty and charm of Loretta Swit, Bowl said in his announcement. Bowl's statement provided the first official confirmation as news spread through entertainment circles and social media. His words became the trusted source amid the flood of tributes from colleagues and fans. The statement highlighted Swit's passion for animal rights activism and her charity work against animal cruelty. This blend of her acting achievements and humanitarian efforts paints a picture of someone whose influence reached way beyond her TV role. Her death marks another loss from this groundbreaking series that changed war's portrayal in entertainment media. The New York Times, among other publications, celebrated how Swit turned a potentially flat character into a complex, dignified woman who earned respect in a male-dominated environment. The industry now mourns a pioneering female performer who helped reshape women's television roles during a crucial time in American culture. She brought humanity to Major Houlihan, evolving the character from a simple stereotype into a nuanced portrayal that has appealed to viewers through 5 decades of syndication. S.H. Star leaves behind a historic TV legacy. Loretta Swit's exit from acting has left an extraordinary television legacy that few performers can match. Her portrayal of a complex female character during a groundbreaking era in television history stands as her lasting contribution to American culture beyond the MASSH news of her passing. Swit portrayed Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan. Sally Kellerman first played Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in the original 1970 feature film before Swit took on the role. The character started as potentially one-dimensional, but grew substantially under Swit's influence. Major Houlihan started out as blindly patriotic with few friends among camp surgeons and nurses, except her married lover, Major Frank Burns. Certain things had to remain the same. She had to remain one of the antagonists, because that was the structure of the show, Swit once explained. In the second season, we saw for the first time that she was unhappy with Frank and wanted more from her life. Her character's edges softened as the seasons rolled on. She married divorced, built friendships with fellow officers, and developed a more enlightened view toward Koreans in and around the camp. This growth mirrored the MASH show's move from absurdist dark humor to mature comedy drama. Swit particularly loved episodes like Hot Lips and Empty Arms, Margaret's Engagement, and The Nurses, each marking key moments in her character's growth. She helped turn what could have been a simple villain into one of the show's finest characters. Appeared in all but 11 episodes of MASH. The MASH news coverage of Swit's career highlights her remarkable consistency. She joined Alan Alda Jamie Farr and William Christopher as the only cast members to stay through all 11 seasons from 1972 to 1983. Swit appeared in 240 of the series' 251 episodes, missing just 11 throughout the entire run. Some sources mention her in 245 of 256 total episodes, but the exact count doesn't diminish her near-constant presence. Swit and Alda share a unique place in the show's history as the only actors in both the pilot episode and the finale. She ranked as the second most featured actor right behind Alda. Her dedication becomes even more impressive, knowing she had planned to leave around season 8 to play Cagney in Cagney and Lacey. But MASH's producers wouldn't release her from her contract. Nearly 106 million viewers tuned in for the series finale on February 28, 1983. A 35-second kiss between Swit and Alda during that episode earned the title of the most expensive kiss in television history based on its length and the ad revenue per minute. Won 2 Emmy Awards, and received 10 nominations. Swit's talent as Major Houlihan earned her unprecedented industry recognition. She received 10 straight Emmy nominations for Best Supporting Actress in a comedy variety or music series from 1974 to 1980, setting a record for consecutive bids in this category. She shares the record for most nominations in the category with Rhea Perlman. The Academy honored her with 2 Emmy wins in 1980 and 1982. She missed her first win on the 7th try, but finally accepted an Emmy publicly 2 years later. I've been an actress for 15 or 15 years, and I've never been on a stage so unprepared in my entire life. Swit told the audience, "This is so wonderful because the last time it happened, I didn't have a chance to come and thank all of the people who were responsible." After thanking her fellow cast members, she simply said, "I'm overwhelmed. Thank you very much." Her portrayal of Major Houlihan also earned her 4 Golden Globe nominations. She approached the character with clear intent. "I like to play a strong character," Swit said in a 1982 interview. "I don't like to see women portrayed as inferior or weak." Her work created one of television's most memorable characters, a strong, intelligent, warm, and caring individual who struck a chord with audiences for generations. How Loretta Swit transformed a stereotype into a feminist icon. The rise of Major Margaret Houlihan, from stereotype to an enabled woman, remains one of television's most remarkable character transformations. Loretta Swit led a quiet revolution behind the scenes of the iconic MASH show. She changed how American television portrayed female characters and created a feminist icon from what was once a caricature. Early portrayal of Houlihan as a caricature. Sally Kellerman played the Houlihan character in Robert Altman's 1970 film that launched the franchise. Critics described her as a sex-crazed bimbo who got her infamous nickname after her intimate moments with Frank Burns spread throughout the camp via a hidden microphone. Male colleagues violated her privacy in this humiliating ordeal. The character became nothing more than an object of ridicule. The character stayed trapped in stereotype when the show moved to television. Hot Lips was the only regular female character in this groundbreaking show, set in the fictional 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. She faced insults, pranks, and practical jokes from the fun-loving male surgeons. The show's original episodes showed her as a prickly, rules-bound head nurse who antagonized the show's male protagonists. The show gave nuanced development to her male counterparts, while Houlihan served as a vessel for sexist jokes and romantic subplots. Her relationship with married Major Frank Burns made her character the other woman, with little appeal beyond physical attractiveness. Swit's push for character depth and realism. Swit refused this limited characterization. She told Susie Coulter, author of The Complete Book of MASH, "Around the 2nd or 3rd year, I decided to try to play her as a real person in an intelligent fashion, even if it meant hurting the jokes." She started asking for meaningful changes to her character. Swit pushed to end the relationship with Frank Burns during a pivotal conference call with writers and producers. "They were writing her more intelligent, and they were writing him sillier," she explained. "I said, I see her breaking off with Frank because it's demeaning. He's married, it's not going anywhere. She has no respect for his craft, his skill as a doctor." Swit suggested a different storyline. Her character would go to Tokyo, marry a respectable officer, and later find out about his unfaithfulness. She would leave him and realize that she doesn't really need another person to complete her life. This change let Houlihan develop independence rarely seen in female television characters of that era. Alan Alda, who wrote episodes, occasionally praised Swit's influence. She worked hard in showing the writing staff how they could turn the character from a one-joke sexist stereotype into a real person with real feelings and ambitions. Swit managed to keep Houlihan busy, ambitious, caring, and determined to be the best damn nurse in Korea. Impact of 1970s feminism on the role. The growing awareness of feminism throughout the 1970s created a cultural backdrop for Houlihan's transformation. Television started reflecting changing attitudes about gender roles and female empowerment as the women's movement gained momentum. Writers focused on Houlihan's professional competence, leadership abilities, and personal growth. The demeaning nickname Hot Lips appeared less in later seasons. The character defined herself as a strong, determined, independent woman who had input into the development and storyline of her character. The show didn't rewrite Houlihan overnight, unlike many female characters of the era. Swit explained, "I took each traumatic change that happened in her life and kept it. I didn't go into the next episode as if it were a different character in a different play. She was a character in constant flux. She never stopped developing." Recent MASH news coverage of Swit's passing highlights her greatest legacy. She reshaped a forgettable stereotype into one of television's most fully realized female characters. Houlihan's trip mirrored that of countless real women who found their voices in a changing America. Swit's career, beyond MASH, spanned stage and screen. Loretta Swit's career went way beyond her iconic role as Major Houlihan. She managed to keep an active career throughout her life and refused to be defined by a single character. Her artistic influence reached beyond the 47th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital and covered everything from Broadway stages to film sets. Broadway debut and theater roles. Swit's passion for live theater ran parallel to her television fame. She built an impressive stage resume that showed her versatility as a performer before MASH news of her passing shocked fans. She appeared in many theater productions throughout the 1970s and 1980s, even as Hot Lips dominated television screens. Her Broadway roles challenged her with productions like Same Time Next Year and The Mystery of Edwin Drood. She starred in regional theaters nationwide, taking on roles from Neil Simon's The Odd Couple female version to A.R. Gurney's Love Letters. Theater critics particularly praised Swit's performance in Shirley Valentine. She played a middle-aged Liverpool housewife who begins a journey of self-discovery. This role let her explore dramatic depths that television rarely offered. Today's news headlines can't capture the story of an actress who constantly sought artistic challenges throughout her long career. TV movies and guest appearances. Swit stayed busy on television beyond the MASH show. She appeared in several TV movies after the series ended that highlighted different sides of her talent. She starred in The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, 1983, as a woman who directs a Christmas pageant with troublemaking children. Her TV movie roles included Games Mother Never Taught You, 1982, where she played a corporate executive fighting sexism, and Miracle at Moreau, 1985, as a nun protecting Jewish children during World War II. These characters were nothing like Major Houlihan. She guest starred on popular shows across several decades. From Love Boat and Murder, She Wrote to The Muppet Show, TV audiences saw her regularly long after MASH ended. She brought her steadfast dedication to every role, a fact that news stories about her passing would later note. Final film credit and upcoming project. Swit became pickier about her roles later in her career. She focused on projects that matched her personal values. Her last completed film role was in the independent production Play the Flute, 2019, where she played a small but meaningful part in a faith-based drama. She had been working on a documentary about Korean War veterans when she passed away. This reflected her lifelong commitment to military causes. News of her death has left questions about whether this project will continue or become a tribute to her memory. Swit's six-decade career showed her amazing ability to switch between comedy and drama. Unlike many actors stuck in their famous TV roles, she always found new ways to grow artistically beyond her famous character. Her professional range grew just like her most famous character, always evolving, changing, and breaking free from others' expectations. Who was Loretta Swit before fame? Loretta Swit's iconic television role started nowhere near Hollywood's bright lights, but in the industrial landscape of Passaic, New Jersey. Today's MASH news coverage brings to light Swit's remarkable career that grew from her unwavering determination. Born in Passaic, New Jersey, to Polish immigrants, Loretta Jane Swit came into the world on November 4, 1937, in Passaic, New Jersey. Lester and Nellie Swit née Kasak, both Polish immigrants, raised her in a modest household. Her father earned a living as a salesman and upholsterer. She shared her childhood with her brother Robert, who was born 6 years and 1 day before her. Young Loretta's time at Pope Pius XII High School in Passaic buzzed with activity. She became a cheerleader, starred in theater productions, and led the girls' basketball team as co-captain. Her 1955 graduation pointed her toward a path that many young women of her time took, much to her parents' satisfaction. Her Polish immigrant parents showed little enthusiasm for her show business dreams during these early years. Trained at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, the future M.A.S.H. show star played by her parents' rules at first, but her artistic dreams never faded. She packed her bags for New York City after finishing secretarial school to study acting. The prestigious American Academy of Dramatic Arts became her training ground, where she graduated in 1959. Manhattan's renowned actor and teacher, Gene Frankel, became her acting coach and mentor during her training years. His guidance shaped her character work skills that would later define her television performances. News of Swit's passing makes us reflect on her amazing trip from a passionate drama student to television icon. Her theater training created a strong foundation for both stage and screen work, skills that served her well throughout her long career. Worked as a stenographer while auditioning, Swit balanced her acting studies with office work to pay the bills. A June 1957 graduate of Catherine Gibbs School in Montclair, New Jersey, she took various clerical positions while chasing her dream. Her resume included stenographer in Bloomfield, New Jersey, personal secretary to famous gossip columnist Elsa Maxwell, secretary to Ghana's ambassador to the United Nations, secretary at the American Rocket Society in New York City. These jobs kept her financially stable while she attended auditions and looked for acting opportunities. She also trained in dance with Elizabeth Parent Barber, a Rockette who studied at the New York School of Ballet. The MASH news of her death shines light on both her achievements and early struggles. While many aspiring actors gave up after rejection, Swit managed to keep her clerical career going while pursuing acting roles. This early resilience hinted at the determination that would help her turn a stereotypical character into a beloved television icon. Swit advocated for veterans and animal rights. Loretta Swit's legacy goes way beyond her acting career. Her passionate advocacy work deeply affected both animal welfare and veterans communities. News coverage of her passing has put a spotlight on these humanitarian efforts that became her life's purpose. Founded Swit Heart Animal Alliance. Swit started the Swit Heart Animal Alliance in 2016, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that fights animal cruelty and suffering. Her foundation worked with more than 20 different charities, including Bidawi Paws for Purple Heart's Kauai Humane Society and Dogs Playing for Life. The organization's mission helped protect, rescue, train, and care for animals while looking after their habitats. Her love for animal welfare started when she was just 6 years old, right when she began developing her artistic talents. "Animals are my friends, not my food," she often said in interviews. Her advocacy reached far beyond her personal choices. Swit Heart Animal Alliance stepped in during emergencies to save animals and made it easier for military dogs to reunite with their soldiers. Published art book to support animal causes. Along with her foundation work, Swit released Swit Heart: The Watercolor Artistry and Animal Activism of Loretta Swit in 2017. This 128-page hardcover book showcased 65 full-color paintings, 22 photographs, and touching stories about her animal subjects. Her MASH co-star, Mike Farrell Captain BJ Honeycutt, wrote a heartfelt introduction for the second edition. She signed every copy bought through her foundation. The book's proceeds went to support the Animal Alliance Foundation's mission to stop animal cruelty. Critics praised her watercolors for showing the true spirit and character of her animal subjects. Swit saw her art as a connection between her two greatest loves. "What Mies and John have done for me is to really bond the two loves of my life, my love for the arts and my humane work, my love of animals and nature." Managed to keep close ties with veterans. The MASH star's bond with veterans grew stronger throughout her life. Playing an Army nurse gave her deep respect for military service members. She helped at Ground Zero after September 11th, serving meals to first responders and bringing coffee to workers. She narrated Never the Same: The Prisoner of War Experience, a documentary about military prisoners. She also supported the Women's Memorial groundbreaking and dedication ceremonies, which raised awareness about women's military service. "I'll never forget those people ever. I saw how we pulled together into one strong, resilient family," she shared in 2020. Her connection with veterans stayed personal as she helped groups that connected soldiers with military dogs. News reports of her death note that she kept these meaningful bonds with the military community she portrayed on screen until the end. Co-stars and fans pay tribute to a TV legend. Heartfelt tributes from Loretta Swit's colleagues and admirers have flooded social media platforms after her death. Her influence reached far beyond the screen. Alan Alda and others share heartfelt messages. Alan Alda Hawkeye Pierce, from all 11 seasons, posted an emotional tribute on X. Loretta was a supremely talented actor. She deserved all her 10 Emmy nominations and her 2 wins. He praised her character's evolution and said, "We celebrated the day the script came out listing her character not as Hot Lips, but as Margaret." Jamie Farr, who brought Corporal Klinger to life, spoke about Swit with deep affection. "I dearly loved Loretta, as close as family can get." Farr, now 90, told USA Today. Mike Farrell BJ Honeycutt shared a simple black and white photograph that said, "Loretta 1937-2025. His emotional video tribute captured her remarkable transformation. She'd sit there and be her sweet, demure self. Then they'd call her in to do a scene, and Loretta would be roaring as Margaret. National Comedy Center praises her legacy. Journey Gunderson, executive director of the National Comedy Center, celebrated Swit's portrayal as groundbreaking, bringing heart humor and strength to one of television comedy's most enduring roles. Gunderson noted that her talent extended well beyond that iconic character. Fans recall her influence on nursing and feminism. Fans acknowledge the MASH star's professional influence after her passing. It's because of you guys I became a nurse and learned that showing you're human to your patients isn't a bad thing, one fan wrote. Another shared, she held her own with you guys in a time where that was not always easy. Swit once reflected, I still get letters from women all over the world who became nurses because of Margaret Houlihan. Why Loretta Swit's legacy will endure. Loretta Swit's legacy will endure not just because she was a part of a legendary television show, but because she was its conscience. While MASH is remembered for its groundbreaking blend of comedy and drama, Swit's quiet but determined battle to transform Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan from a sexist caricature into a fully realized human being stands as the show's most profound and lasting achievement. She didn't just play a character. She championed her infusing Margaret with a depth, strength, and vulnerability that mirrored the burgeoning feminist movement of her time. Her influence extends far beyond the screen. Through her passionate advocacy for animal rights and her unwavering support for veterans, Swit lived the values of compassion and integrity that her character came to embody. She proved that an actor's impact is not confined to their roles, but is measured by their commitment to making the world a better place. The outpouring of love from co-stars and fans confirms her indelible mark on our culture. She was more than just an Emmy-winning actress. She was an inspiration to a generation of women who saw in Margaret